Greetings to Mashpee residents. My name is Rodney Collins, and I am proud to serve as your town manager. My focus today is to provide residents and taxpayers with some timely information in preparation for town meeting on Monday, May 4th, 2026 at the Mashpee High School Auditorium at 7 p.m. My recommended budget, which was unanimously supported by the Select Board, School Committee, and Finance Committee, consists of $83,332,162 for all operating costs and scheduled debt payments. This year, the town is seeking a Proposition 2.5 override in order to balance the town's finances. This stems from a law enacted that limits the amount of tax revenue a municipality can raise through real and personal property taxes, commonly referred to as the tax levy. The levy limit is based on an increase of 2.5% of the prior year's levy limit and the dollar amount derived from the value of new construction and other growth in the local tax base, commonly referred to as new growth. A town can exceed its levy limit with voter approval. This provides the town with flexibility to permanently increase the levy limit to support municipal and school operations. What is the difference between a debt exclusion and an override? A debt exclusion is an amount of debt service for a specific duration, generally 10 to 30 years. This is generally attributed to a specific capital project. An override results in a permanent tax increase that is used to fund operational expenses. This is the first override the town of Mashpee has requested. Many towns are in similar challenging times. An override was forecasted as early as 2021. However, through responsible fiscal management, we have deferred it until now. We have focused on the recruitment and retention of valued and well-qualified staff, but with it comes the challenge of meeting the limits set by 2.5. In fact, the override was written with the intent of addressing these situations. With the additional operational costs for wastewater management of approximately $2 million, the town was $1.5 million short in fiscal 27. Therefore, a two-tier plan to sustain operations was submitted. It consists of $1.5 million in the proposed budget and $2.5 million next year for a total of $4 million. If the override fails, there are significant reductions in police, fire, public works, and the school. The precise numbers will be in the so-called Blue Book distributed prior to town meeting. At town meeting, voters will have an opportunity to review my recommended budget department by department in Article 2 of the annual town meeting. Voters will also have the opportunity to review mandated reductions that will result in each department if the override fails. The override question will be on the ballot May 9th, 2026 at the annual town election. Early voting starts Monday, April 27th and ends on Friday, May 1st. In addition to the town's operating budget, the Capital Improvement Program Committee has recommended $3,234,745 for various assets and projects that will be listed in Article 3 of the annual town meeting. The majority of these expenses are funded by the Capital Stabilization Account. Article 4 at the special town meeting and ballot question 3 will ask voters to allocate $12 million for the design of Phase 3 in the continuation of the Clean Water Plan adopted in 2015. Phase 3 is anticipated to service over 1,000 homes and reduce 30% of nitrogen from entering the Wacoit watershed. Phase 3 is also anticipated to prevent phosphorus from reaching Johns Pond and Ashumet Pond and will minimize nutrient pollution in the Quashnet River. This also represents the first step in improving water quality in the Waquoit Bay watershed. This will include a treatment facility and wastewater collection system. Mashpee's bays, ponds, and rivers, vital to residents and tourism revenue, have become increasingly degraded. The Select Board, with overwhelming guidance and support from voters, have authorized Phase 1, 1A, 2, and a community cluster system. This is anticipated to service just under 2,000 homes. This is also projected to reduce nitrogen in the Popponesset Bay watershed by 46%. The town is required by the state to cut nitrogen levels in its watersheds by 75%. The town has not removed nitrogen from the Waquoit Bay watershed, which is the objective in Phase 3. Wastewater systems are expensive, and there was no doubt the town sought a substantial financial investment to resolve a serious and long-term problem. The question that must be asked is, what is at risk if we delay, and what financial benefits will be lost if not now? Construction costs for projects approved by the State Revolving Fund, or SRF, receive a 0% loan and 28.3% principal forgiveness. Costs with SRF financing and principal forgiveness may be around $110 million for Phase 3, whereas the cost may be around $275 million without SRF funding or principal forgiveness. There are two other debt exclusion articles and questions. Article 24 for $11.5 million will complete upgrades to the HVAC system and install a fire suppression system at the Quashnet School. Article 25 will fund $500,000 for the replacement of the HVAC system at the Council on Aging building. If any resident has concerns or questions regarding the upcoming town meeting, I urge you to contact the respective department or my office at 508-539-1401. I hope you have found this information to be helpful, and I hope you plan on attending town meeting May 4th, 2026. Thank you.